Hey, next gen millionaires. It's Joe Burns, the money master, coming at you this week. I told you I was going to come back this week. And I got a special surprise for you. Um, my little special surprise I've been talking about with the Stop Your Money Meltdown tool and guide is now available. Um, and I'll tell you in a minute how to get it and where to go for that. So I'm super excited. Like, been working on this for a little bit. Um, and really, just as this last month has went on, and as I've been talking about one-on-one clients and been talking to just people in general, it's much needed. Um, right now, I'm coming to you at the end of the year, and it's always a hot topic at the end of the year, like people melting down around money. Um, and just like because of everything, right? Again, like I've talked the last couple weeks, we're looking at our year-end numbers. We're saying, hey, did we make as much as we wanted to this year, or did we not? How's fourth quarter rolling up for us? Like, how are we even going to start off the beginning of next year? Right? All these things start adding up. The holidays are on us, so we're maybe spending money, maybe not, maybe you don't feel like you can spend. Like, there's lots of things happening right now, and so there are all meltdowns. So this week I want to talk to you about like really identifying that it's happening. So funny story, I had a one-on-one client the other night, and we're talking, and then I mentioned this and had given talking about like the meltdown and that this was coming out, and then I wanted to share it with her, and I thought it'd be really good for her. And she's like, I don't really have money meltdowns, right? Kind of like that. Like, no, not melting down, just busy, just thinking, like all the stuff I have to do, and just kind of this method of like when I mentioned money meltdown, there she's like, no, not having a money meltdown, I'm doing pretty good with that. But then we started talking like, okay, well, talk to me about like what's happening in your business and how you're feeling, and then it started coming, right? Just one thing after another, and frustration, and that's happening, and this is happening, and just blah, like not like blah, like ism, like I was like blah 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 stuff, but just like coming out and just like getting it. I'm like, oh, like my question for her afterwards, something like, oh, so you're not having a meltdown then, huh? She just looked at me and she's like, well, maybe. I was like, oh, okay, let's talk about that. Okay, let's chat a bit about it, right? And in my mind, and as we started talking, right, it's kind of the analogy came up that when a volcano goes off, there's a massive eruption, right? We're given tremors, and there's scientific data that says, hey, this volcano is probably going to erupt. The same thing happens in our lives. Most people think the meltdowns or the eruptions are really just spontaneous and they just happen. But if we stop to identify for a moment what leads up to those, then we can have more controlled explosions. Instead of like the volcano just going everywhere and exploding, we can not explode all over the place, right? And so, really today, that's what I want to help you understand is when you identify it, and then I want to add my tool, right, and the guide in to help give you some support on all of this, because it's important when we look at money specifically, but this applies to most everything in life, right? But when we look at money specifically, there's a lot of triggers that it's constantly pushing on throughout the day, throughout the week, the month, and the year. Whether it be, hey, we've put a lot of like lead magnets and stuff out there in our business. We're like putting offers out there, but we're not having anybody take. This client, I've done a lot of work for them, but they're not paying me. People who have subscriptions that then they start defaulting on their payments or payment plans, and you start defaulting on that. Like, there's all these little things, and these are actually bigger things, right? Looking at our bank account, that's a trigger. How many of us do that or avoid doing that? Looking at our accounting numbers that our bookkeepers and accountants are putting together for us so we can understand the health of our business. How many are actually looking at those on a regular basis, right? How many are freaking out because maybe credit cards are getting high and your actual bank account and cash that's running low? Who's scared about cash flow and things happening there? Who's having meltdowns when you actually have a bad month? Because those happen. What happens if you're used to making like $10,000 a month and you have like a $2,000 a month? What happens there? Right? What happens when your kids come to you time and time again because they need money for activities they're doing or things that have happened? Who starts breaking down, melting down a bit when like your car breaks down or you need new tires or new brakes? Right? When the check engine light comes on. What about when we go to our cupboards at home and we're like, oh, I don't have any food to make, so I go to the store now? right? Think about all these ideas, and then with piled on top of that is the holiday season that's coming up. We want to get gifts, and we want to donate to people, and we want to help organizations out that we care about. We donate or we don't donate because we don't feel like we can. What about the people in our lives that are struggling or have needs that we can help them with? Do we help them or do we hesitate? Right? So these are all the things that go through my brain, and I hear from people, right? These small meltdowns happen all the time. We don't have to wait for a massive eruption. We don't have to wait till we look at our bank account, or sometimes we're avoiding looking at that because we know it's going to cause a meltdown and we don't want to have it. So I promise you, these things are happening all the time. They're happening way more often than we give credit for. And that's a problem, right? We want to make money. There's a world of investment and or how our businesses do and all this stuff. But as always, I'm way more interested in what's happening on the inside. Why are you not doing something, or why are you doing something? Especially when it comes to money, because money, it's not all about the money. And I say that over and over again because it's really not. But it's a great indication of what's happening. And it's very tangible when it messes with us. But we have to start to get better at identifying, hey, I'm having a meltdown. Okay. So here's kind of rule number 1 in Joe's book, right? You're having a meltdown every day. So don't wait for it. Just plan on it. If we can get to that space where we just plan on it, be like, hey, I'm going to have a meltdown today. It's guaranteed. So can I get better at preventing it even happening? Even the best people, highest performers who have the best days ever, they still have little meltdowns. And a lot of times they work through them quickly and don't even realize that they're working through them. And this becomes kind of like a muscle memory. But for those who don't have muscle memory on this, I want to give you something that's going to help support you moving forward. Okay. So that's where the Stop Your Money Meltdown guide comes in, right? And this guide is a tool overall, but it's a culmination of tools that really, when working together, will help you thwart the little meltdowns, right? And we're going to, again, focus on money, but you could use it for any meltdown that's going to happen. But I know that, if you apply, and again, it's only 5 steps, okay? And if you apply it every single day for even 2 weeks, you're going to see massive results. Right. And that's where everybody fights back. And they're like, Joe, I've been working on this for 40, 50, 60 years, however old you are, it doesn't matter. But they've been working on it for most of my lifetime. And I've never been able to get what I want. I'm like, well, that's because you keep doing the same stuff over and over. That's why you're where you're at. You don't need more strategy. You don't need more tactical things for your business. You have all that stuff. But what we need is a shift in our mindset of how we approach things. And money's in our face all day long. So why not use money to help reflect back to us what we can change right now so that we can have a different result by the end of the day? Right? So everyone wants to be like, well, if I start personal development, if I start working on my mindset, then it's going to take weeks to change. No, it's going to take weeks for you to really create a habit around it. But you can see results in one day. I'm giving you 5 steps. And step number 5 is about celebrating what happened during the day. So it's really a step at the end of the day. So if I told you, hey, you can do 4 steps that should take no more than 10 minutes in the morning, and you can have some type of result by the end of the day, would you do it? And would you continue to do it day after day? That's the real question. Because I guarantee you, if you keep consistent in what you're doing, you're going to have results. You're going to have the results you want as well. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take weeks to make changes, especially when it comes to money. Things can happen very quickly. I promise you. I've seen it over and over and over in my own life and in the lives of my clients. This isn't some internet marketing BS that's just like, oh, hey, do these one things and then some weird random person gets the results, but nobody else can. You know who I'm talking about because it happens all the time out there. I see it constantly in my social media feeds. Do this and get these results, and it's just a bunch of BS. And people challenge me on mine too. I got results to back it up. I have clients who do it over and over again. The ones that don't aren't doing it. Okay. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes. So if you want the results and you want them now, well, time to implement this tool. Okay. So the really cool thing about it is it's ready to go. It's just a download. It's a one sheet PDF. And the cool thing is I actually gave you um, a little smaller one that you can put on your phones, right? So you can create it like a back screen and a home page on your phone so you can take it with you, which I highly encourage you do because it's going to continue to just like reiterate this one cool tool. Okay. So I suggest you go get it, implement it, use it, respond back to the email that gets sent to you with the download link in it and say, Joe, these are my results that are happening. Because guess what? Results are going to happen. You're going to be able to celebrate them because they will happen. And for the naysayers out there, prove me wrong. That's all I have to say. Okay. So identify the little meltdowns each day. Like you're having them, right? And think back about where this is happening. Now, if you want to avoid them altogether or help mitigate them, you follow these 4 steps. You celebrate at the end of the day when the 5th step happens. And as you do so, you're going to have less massive explosions. They're going to be little ones that are happening already, but you're going to be taking care of them over and over. And that's what the most important thing is, right? Back to my one-on-one client. Like, that's why I told her, I'm like, you're having these. And she realized she was. Now, it doesn't mean you're a horrible person if you're having meltdowns, right? That's the mentality up here. Meltdowns are bad, so we're not going to have them. We're going to avoid them. No, they're happening already. So let's just accept the fact and put a system in place to help us mitigate it before it happens, not after it happens. The tool still works if you're in the middle one or it's happening. But I suggest you just start the day off with it. And as you do that, you're going to set yourself up for success. That's what leaders do. They plan for things to fall apart. They set themselves for success. So when they do fall apart, they don't fall apart. Make sense? Plan for things to go wrong because they are going to go wrong. Doesn't mean we've got to live in scarcity and fear all day long. We just know that you can have the confidence to be able to handle the things that come up during the day. When you set yourself right at the beginning of the day starts off so much better. Okay? So, before I forget, you can go to www.peaceinprosperity.com, and I'll put it in the description below to go download it. Just put your name and email. That's all I ask for, right? Then there's a cool question if you want to answer it. You don't have to, and then you can download these 2 things. Okay? So go snag it. If you got any questions, let me know. And as always, I would love to hear like the wins you have. Like, that's part of doing what I do. I get so excited when people send me random emails and say, "Hey Joe, I implemented this one thing you said to do, and here are my results." It makes me so happy because I'm like, "Hey, I'm reaching my goal. I'm reaching my goal about helping all of you change the way you're interacting with money and really fix your money trauma, because we all have it. Let's embrace it and be like, cool, I have it. It's nothing weird, but I'm working on fixing it." So this is my gift to you this holiday season, and for more than just a holiday season. But it's something that it came up a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I really want to get this out. People need it. People want it. And so this is my gift to you. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can implement it and you see the results that you're looking for. Okay? So let me know how it goes. Until next week, we're going to chat about this all during February. February is December. Yeah, I don't know why I said February. We're going to chat about this all month long, right? And I'm going to uncover some more things that I'm thinking about. I'm going to hop in here a little bit more this month. It's kind of a fun December gift I'm giving for everybody. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Bye.